Doing your weather headlines a little differently tonight. We're actually going to look back at all of the big weather headlines for 2023. The weather story of 2023, of course, has come to a close, but it was one for the record book. Let's start with the sheer volume of water that we saw in 2023. It was the third wettest year of all time. And the unique part was, unlike 2011, we had no hurricanes or tropical storms providing the heavy rain. It was just seemingly never-ending July downpours sprinkled with soaking rain throughout the year. And then how about the heat? Well, we all just about lived through the hottest year on record in Albany by a pretty significant margins. Think about that for a second. Well, it might have been a bigger deal if the previous warmest year was not just a few years ago in 2012. Now, the thing about 2023 was it wasn't even that remarkably hot. We only had 11 90-plus degree days. It was just consistent and a sustained year of milder than normal temperatures month in and month out, and especially at night. And within the 365-page book was a unique and in some respects unprecedented blend of weather, so have a look back. So let's take it from the top. It was a mild opening act, with every day in January seeing highs over 30 degrees. The above-average temperatures, for the most part, carried us through the winter, besides a brutal Arctic blast on February 3rd and 4th that saw wind chills dip below minus 30 degrees, the coldest air mass in over 4 years. Snow was the biggest story in March, with an equal amount of snow that month as we had in January and February combined. A storm from the 13th through 15th brought over 3 feet to the higher terrain. As we chugged forward into the spring, we saw the 9th driest May of all time, leaving sights of brown, scorched lawns in an ironic twist of what was to come weeks later. May also saw a cold snap on the 18th, which for most was easy to forget, but for some farmers, this was a devastating blow to their crops. I saw the effects of this months later at an apple orchard. May was also the start of what would become a much bigger chapter of 2023 in June, wildfire smoke. It's hard to forget the Martian-like overcast and the wall of acrid smoke-smelling air, seemingly day in and day out. This was especially bad on June 5th through the 8th, and again on the 28th through the 30th, providing some of the worst air quality ever recorded for cities across the Midwest and Northeast. Remember the dry lawns from May? Well, soon we had the opposite problem by July, and what was the third wettest month of all time, full of unrelenting humidity and bucket after bucket of rain dumped on the area, including downpours which impacted opening day at Saratoga Racecourse, and of course the July 9th through 11th event, which led to catastrophic flooding for Vermont and the lower Hudson Valley. The fall featured overall iffy color displays, likely because of the oversaturation and perhaps the unusual and sustained mid-autumn warmth. In fact, October had a couple of days that were warmer than any temperature recorded in August. Finally, we closed out the year on what was a much wetter than it was a whiter note, namely the storm on December 17th and 18th, which led to river, creek, and stream flooding. So overall, 2023 was certainly an eventful one, and like each year of weather, had its own unique segments. Now here's to a fantastic 2024 and all the interesting weather yet to come.